Hey guys, Steve from PC Budget Solutions here, bringing the very first installment of the Budget PC Guide. This is going to be for $600 and for December of 2013. And as you can see here, a little bit of a snapshot on one of the parts that are going to be included for this. I believe the total came out to $600 and like a couple cents. I don't even think it was a full dollar. So without further ado, let's start off. And here is the brain, the horsepower, the muscle behind it. It's the AMD Athlon 2 X4 760K. It's priced very competitively at $89.99. It is on the FM2 and FM2 Plus platform. For this building with an FM2 Plus board. For future upgrading, it is a 3.8 gigahertz quad core with 4 meg of L2 cache. Now, okay, first things first. No L3 cache. I understand that. It's a standalone CPU rather than the APUs that also run this platform. Why did we go with like a second generation Phenom processor or an FX processor? AM3 Plus is done. It's dead. It's not being upgraded. They don't have PCI Express Gen 3. A lot of the lower end boards and more budget friendly boards don't have USB 3.0. They don't have, say the 3.6 gigabit per second. They're not being upgraded. We want to build something that is very competitively priced now. However, in the future, you'll be able to upgrade and get some more power. It also supports Kaveri, which is coming out in a couple months here, which supposedly they're claiming a 40% increase over the current generation in pure CPU horsepower to the point where it might actually rival an i5. That's speculation, but it's still out there. We do know it is bringing HSA technology, which is definitely very exciting. Next, Core Master Hyper 212 Evo. Not much to say about it. Fantastic price for $32.99. It's very quiet. It's PWM, so you can modulate that in the BIOS. It keeps your PC very cool. It keeps my 2600K at 4.5 gigahertz under 80 degrees under synthetic load and under 70 degrees under normal load, which is very impressive in my opinion. And it supports everything. Everything from LGA 1366 all the way to 2011, everything in between. 775 is not supported. I don't believe you need special mounting for that. It does support AM2, AM2 Plus, AM3, AM3 Plus, FM1, 2, and 2 Plus. Be careful. It is 159 millimeters tall, so it will not fit in many cases out there, especially very budget-friendly cases. Ours does, however, because I've tested it, because I have a build very similar to this for a customer of mine. The Gigabyte A80XM, 88XM-HD3, it's FM2 Plus board. It supports Kaveri that's coming out. Supports up to DDR3 2133, which is either nice for PS4 or Battlefield 4 rather, or APUs, which is the standalone CPU. M-ATX form factor has PCI Express Gen 3, also has a Gen 2 slot at the bottom here, which only runs at X4. It has your PCI Express 1.1, has your legacy PCI 7.1 audio. You have to set that up separate. It has USB 3 and USB 2. It has a combo port for keyboard mouse. The onboard graphics won't work because the CPU doesn't have it, but if it does, you have HDMI, DVI-D, and D-sub, and also has a front USB header right there. And most importantly, it has 8 SATA 3 6 gigabit per second ports. Next, this is what this thing is centered around. The R9 270 is a rebadged 7870. It is not the gigahertz edition. The R9 270 is the gigahertz edition in a nutshell. They both have the same amount of stream processors. They both have the 5.6 gigahertz effective memory speed. They're 256-bit interface. They're a fast card. If you take this card and overclock it by 50 megahertz or 25 megahertz on the boost, you have a 270X. It's a very, very powerful card for the price. AMD recommends a 500 watt power supply, or in my opinion, if you have a very good 400 watt power supply, you'd be okay. We have a good 500 watt power supply for that build, so won't have to worry about it. You'll be able to play Battlefield 4 on this, and you get a free copy of it with this specific graphics card. Corsair 200R, a lot to say about this case. Very, very competitively priced. $49.99. It'll fit a Hyper 212. You have USB 3 in the front. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think there's one at the bottom that make 8 fan mounts. I believe they are all 120 or 140 millimeters supported. It supports cooler heights up to 160. The clearance is actually a couple millimeters more than the difference of 160 minus 159. So, because I've used it in a build before, already comes with two fans, one here and one back here. They're silent. They're like 800 or 900 RPM, very silent. This case has 4 native SSD mounts. They're actually right here. There's 4 of them, and then there's their hard drive cages below that. It's really, really nice setup. I like it. You have 3 5.25-inch bays. Here's your stats. You're roughly like 17 by 8 by almost 20. I just like this case. I've used it. Good cable management. You can even do radiator support because everything's offset up here. It has 7 PCI expansion slots. You could put a high-end system in here and be satisfied. That's what I like about it. The EVGA 500B 80 plus bronze power supply. Very simple. It has 500 watts. It has 40 amps on the 12 volt rail, which is a total of 480 watts available to the system power. 80 plus bronze certified, which means 85% efficient. Has 2 6 plus 2 PCIe connectors, and it works on anything from 100 to 240 volts. I've used it. It's a very great price. It is $44.99 right now, and I recommend it. G-School Aries 8 gig kit. Not much to say. Dual channel, CL9, 600 megahertz, 8 gig. This I found for about $51.99. You know what? It's RAM. Pick whatever works for you. Western Digital 1 terabyte blue drive, 3.5 inch, 7200 RPM, 64 meg of cache. As long as it's not green, you're fine. Red is pointless because it's NAS. So, I mean, for gaming setups. So, very basic. And the light on DVD RW. So that's pretty much kind of it. I didn't do prices on the last couple here because they're really not that significant. I mean, I missed it for here. It's $44.99, but just get whatever RAM is cheap. Get whatever hard drive fits your budget. Just avoid a Western Digital Green. Any DVD RW, it copies and burns and plays. I mean, what else do you need? I don't think you need a whole heck of a lot more than that. One thing I do want to point out is, like I said, this comes with a free copy of Battlefield 4. And you'll be able to play games like Battlefield 4 on mostly high settings, 1080p, low anti-aliasing. Most older games you'll probably be able to crank out. This is a very, very competitive build for the price. I like it. Hopefully you guys like it. And that's pretty much kind of wrap for it, guys. Thank you guys for watching my first installment of the budget PC guide, $600 price point for December 2013. As always, like the video if you like it, share it with somebody you think will be useful, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to comment, and I have a business on Facebook called PC Budget Solutions, no spaces. It has a blue background with my computer in it. Go over there and like it if you like it, and thank you guys for your time. As always, this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions, signing out.